Hello, everybody. Welcome back to This Podcast Takes Tokens, episode 76
Yeah.
of This Podcast Takes Tokens. We just wrapped up our Best Bud Summer Rewind, where we did 10 episodes all about our favorite buddy movies. I want to say comedies. I think they were all comedies, actually. I don't think one of them wasn't a comedy, really, or a comedy, action comedy.
Yeah, Lethal Weapon
Something
was
in
kind
the
of an
realm.
action comedy,
Yeah.
but yeah, there was still some
Definitely, at least with a hyphen, there was comedy in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just wrapped that up. That was a lot of fun. And now we're just going to kind of roll back into our normal rhythm of episodes. We haven't done anything. We did 10 movies in a row. So we're going to kind of mix it up today with something a little different. But before that, we normally do our retro ramble.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, I thought we talked earlier today, and we wanted to take a minute to, I don't know, acknowledge and show our respects for the loss of Ozzy Osbourne a couple days ago as of filming this. And we're both Ozzy fans and Black Sabbath fans, and we just thought it would be nice to take a minute and reflect on that, if you will. What are your thoughts? You got any thoughts?
I mean, I think it's pretty wild that he just finished that farewell tour like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
But he knew, that's why he did it.
Yeah, it's just like what a really, honestly, like, and I mean this with the most respect, what a metal way to go out. Like, do your farewell tour and then,
that's it.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, gosh, but I remember, like, when I first discovered, like, Ozzy, it was through Black Sabbath, because I was really getting into classic rock at the time. I was in high school, and I was working at a country radio station, but on our AM station, our FM station was country, our AM station was classic rock. And on our AM station, I would run like the baseball games, like the Royals baseball games. But like coming up to the game and stuff like that, I'd have to DJ for a little bit, and I'd play some classic rock. And I think I heard, like, I played Iron Man or something. I was just like, oh, this looks interesting, because I had a whole, log of stuff, whatever I could play. And I really liked it. I'm like, oh man, I got to learn more about this. So anyway, I found I ended up finding that album. I don't know, there was a music store not far from where I lived at.
Paranoid.
And found that Paranoid album, and man, I fell in love with that album.
Yeah.
So good, so good. And then the Black Sabbath, Black Sabbath album, The Wizard. Oh man, my gosh. All that.
Is there a better song, name for an album, name for a band, than Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath on Black Sabbath?
I know. Yep.
Can you get any more metal than that?
So good.
Number one song. First song on the album. That's how you debut. It's just awesome.
It's awesome. Like, just they were so good. And then when he went off into his solo stuff, and
that was still good too.
Randy Rhoads is awesome. And then later when Zakk Wylde started playing guitar, I love Zakk Wylde so much. And Black Label Society and everything. But like, Ozzy just opened me up to this whole world of music that I didn't even know existed. Yeah. And so I mean, everybody, death comes for everybody. But he was only 76, I think. Like, that's
like
not
something like that.
Yeah, that's not, people live longer than that, and it's. I know he had Parkinson's and everything.
Yeah.
And, but it's definitely a hole in the music community, and the metal scene and everything. But man, he went out on a high note, though. So.
Absolutely. And raising $200 million for for Parkinson's research is just amazing.
Yep.
That's, talk about a way to go. Like, to just leave such a legacy like that is incredible. Like, this is just proof that, like, nobody remembers you for scrolling your phone or, sitting around watching movies and TV. I mean, hopefully us, but other than that.
Yeah.
they remember you for like, the impact you had on their lives, the things
Yeah.
that you did, like the stories that they get to tell about you, about the things that you did. And, for me, it was high school as well, like discovering Ozzy Osbourne and, Mr. Crowley and Crazy Train were probably two of my favorites. And, hearing the stories about Austin and urinating on the side of the Alamo and biting the head off the bat and all that stuff, like just, built his legend for us in stories that we would have to tell each other. Like, we didn't go and look this up online. This was like stuff that was passed down from, the generations ahead of us. Like the grades ahead of us would pass down these stories about Ozzy Osbourne, as well as like the albums and stuff. And then, like right after high school, I started getting deeper into it. And that's whenever I got into Black Sabbath and classic rock and all that. And got the Black Sabbath album, which is like my favorite, one of my favorite albums of all time for sure. And Wizard, War Pigs just had me going. And I think I played Wizard on repeat when I first got that album for a couple hours straight.
Just harmonica and everything at the beginning of that.
Like it's just a screaming song, and just loved it.
Yeah.
And, and then even watching the first and second season of the Osbournes, whenever they were doing that was like a nice fun little peek into his life and who he was and the humor that he had, like, him liking, kind of like ribbing on people and messing with folks and, being a little bit of a trickster, prankster, but he'll be missed for sure.
Yeah.
I've been deep into the Osbourne albums lately.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Yep.
Like Sirius XM, they've got the the Ozzy's Boneyard channel. And I've had that going. And after he passed, they ran all the albums back to back in chronological order.
Awesome.
Which was really cool. And then they started doing like some of the covers, and they've done some live stuff, and they're kind of mixing in other things now. But that was nice to have going every time I got in the car, to have some random Ozzy song playing, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
But so it will be missed.
Yeah,
for sure.
What's your favorite Ozzy song?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I think if you're talking pure Ozzy songs,
pure Ozzy, like not
Sabbath, like Ozzy solo songs. Probably Mr. Crowley or Crazy Train. Probably Mr. Crowley.
Yeah, Mr. Crowley's really, really good.
How about you?
That Blizzard of Oz album's just really good in general. But my favorite album is No More Tears album. And then my favorite song, I love No More Tears, but my favorite song, it's kind of cliche. It's Mama, I'm Coming Home. It's it's so good. It's so good. I've been listening to that last couple days. I've been listening to the album, and then I've listened to Mama, I'm Coming Home.
I've purposely avoided that one the last couple of days.
Oh, you have? Yeah.
Just that song. I can't do that one right now.
Yeah, there's when you get around to wanting to listen to it again, I in my searches on like YouTube and stuff, I found where Carrie Underwood is on the Howard Stern show, and she does a cover of it that's really, really good.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's really, because she's talking about how she listened to him a lot when she grew up, and like she kind of had to hide it a little bit from her parents, and then when she finally, like, I guess when they finally found that she was listening to it or something, she's like, oh no, not everything that he sings is like about darkness and stuff. He's got other things. And I think she said that was like one of the songs that she showed her mom or something like that. But anyway, it's a really good watch. It's like 5-6 minutes or something. But Mama, I'm Coming Home is just
that's a good one. Good.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Whenever Christmas time rolls around, if you're looking to get a little Ozzy in there, I remember, I don't know, like 20 something years ago, Ozzy Osbourne and Jessica Simpson did Winter Wonderland together.
Oh, no way.
Yes. And it's just so much fun. It's like, now it's fun. Yeah. It was probably a little odd for a while, and you got Jessica Simpson in there, but yeah, it's pretty fun. So
Well,
there's some Aussie Christmas out there.
Well, that's the thing that just goes to show you, like that and the Carrie Underwood stuff, like people that are even if they're like involved in different genres of music, like people still listened to Ozzy. They knew Ozzy, like you know, like he crossed.
I think everybody's heard Iron Man.
Oh yeah. I mean, just absolute icon.
Yeah.
So he'll be missed.
Will be missed. Well, you want to roll into the retro ramble?
Yeah, let's after this heavy intro here. Yeah, we'll roll into the retro ramble, kind of lift our spirits a little bit. So.
That's right. Hey, it's all rock and roll.
That's right.
All right. So I asked you at the end of the last episode. Well, for those that were listening live, it was after, but
yeah,
we're gonna call it the end of the last episode. I asked, what was your first job? Simple and clean. What was it first job? How old were you? Where was it? Yeah, let's talk about it. So, well, you let me go first last time, so I'll let you go first this time.
Yeah, so I ran a paper route, and I was probably, I don't know exactly how old I was, probably 11 or 12. And I think I got like 10 cents a paper or something. It was like it was slave labor. It was what
Did you have to like roll them up and
had to roll them? Yeah.
Oh,
we had to go. You get out of school. I'd go take my stuff back to Dad's, and then I'd ride my bike over to the paper office. And you go in a back door, and then they had like every paper boy, because we were all boys. There wasn't any paper girls at that time. We all had a cubby. And they had like the ladies that worked the press, they would take all the papers for your route and they'd stick them in your cubby. And then you had to roll all of them. And then you'd stuff them in your bag and you'd go walk or ride your bike or whatever. And you go, and I had one of the biggest routes. And we would have, once a month, we had a day called Saturation Day, which meant that we had to deliver a paper to every house on our route. Man. And
regardless of subscription.
Oh, it was terrible. It was so bad. It was so bad. It was just like I had like 200 and some papers that I had to roll and put together and everything. Which I'm remembering it like that. I'm sure, like looking at it now with, having worked for, 30 some years of my life, or 20 some years of my life. I guess I didn't start working when I was 8, but, it probably wouldn't be as bad now, but yeah, that was rough. Now I do remember, little secret that's now coming out of the bag, and I hope it doesn't get me in trouble, but Dad, our dad would always read the newspaper, and he never bought a subscription. He would always go to like those little paper vending machines. He'd pay a quarter or 50 cents or whatever it was for the
ritual.
Paper. Yeah, he would do it after he got off work. And, but a couple times he'd ask me, he's like, hey, because occasionally they'd give me extra papers. He'd be like, hey, if you get an extra paper, bring it home. I said, okay. So I got to the point where there was, I would intentionally stuff away the last paper on the route for Dad. And the last person on my route didn't get their paper a lot because of that. And they ended up canceling their subscription.
Oh.
So, confession time with the Jennings brothers.
I think there's a statute of limitations on this.
Yeah. It was 25 cents, what? What was yours?
Well, mine, not including like working at the video store or roofing, jobs that you get through family and stuff like that. My first job the first job I got was at CC's Pizza. I got it my sophomore year in high school. And I worked, various positions, cash register, bussing tables, putting out fresh pizzas, bringing pizzas to customers' tables whenever they order specific ones. And, cleaning up after closing. I think it was like the spring of my sophomore year. I worked there for about 6 months, less. It was probably like 4 or 5 months. And it was right until I had to go home back up north for the summer to spend summer with Dad. Like, school ended, and then like a few weeks would go by, and then I was going to go back up north to spend summer with Dad. And they told me that if I left for the summer, that they would not hold my job when I came back, and that was it. My job was over with them. I didn't go back and apply, and I think I went and worked at. I ended up going to work in Target after that.
Okay.
Because I kept wanting to try. I kept trying to get a job at the grocery store across the street, but they wouldn't hire me. Like, I applied like a dozen times. Like, every time they had applications going, but for whatever reason they just wouldn't hire me.
That's so weird.
It felt annoying.
Like, I just want to bag groceries.
They hired so many of my friends, but they just wouldn't hire me. So, but yeah, I thought like them telling me. I mean, it was pretty cold. They were just like, if you leave for the summer, we're not going to hold a position for you, and there may not be one when you get back. And it was just it was a quick and easy lesson on, this job is never going to care about you as much as you care about it on your worst day.
Yeah. And, you're always replaceable.
Yeah. That was, but like I said, it was the first job. It was greasy.
I bet.
Really didn't like it. Like, I mean, it was fine. It really wasn't hard. It was just dirty and grimy and greasy, and I got free pizza, which was nice. I really liked they had cheese bread.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I'd usually like you could get like something to go whenever you left for the day or whatever. And so if I worked like earlier shifts, I'd get like a thing of cheese bread and pizza sauce to go. I'd bring that home and eat that. That was good. I like that. But I haven't been there since.
It's been so long since I've been to CC's, but I do remember one time I was dating this gal before I started dating my wife, and we were over at CC's, and I had like a buffalo chicken pizza or whatever that they had, and she had gotten up to go get more pizza, go to the bathroom. I don't know what she was doing. She wasn't at the table, and I looked down to grab another slice of pizza. Because, you're at the buffet, you throw several slices on there or whatever. And there's, my plate, there's a buffalo chicken pizza, and there's an inchworm crawling out of a piece of the chicken.
Oh.
And I see her walking back over, and I don't want to make a scene. Not that she was somebody that would make scenes, but like, you see something like that. So no freaking shame, I picked that piece off. I threw it on the ground. I ate that pizza. I didn't even care. I ate the pizza.
It was yours. You could have just said, "I'm full."
I could have. It was tasted good. Like, I
took one for the team.
I took one for the team. I had a couple slices of it, before that, and it still tasted good. I'm like, yeah.
I gotta say, that doesn't surprise me. Having worked there does not surprise me at all. I knew some of the guys in the back that prepared the pizzas. I wouldn't eat there.
Yeah.
If I wouldn't eat there blind, I would eat there if I knew who was working and who had prepared the food. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
But I feel like that goes for most minimum wage food. Places.
Yeah.
Like fast service places. They're. But anyways.
Yeah.
That was it. First jobs.
Yeah, first jobs. Let us know what your first job was.
Yeah. We'd love to hear about it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Drop in the comments. And with that, I'm going to roll the intro, and we can
get started.
Intro this episode. Your local video store card.
A comic book in your back pocket.
Games with no tutorials.
Music you had to discover.
And drinking water straight from the hose.
These are the things us millennials remember fondly. We are the Jennings brothers.
Join us after the streetlights come on
as we race our bikes from the top of the hill
right down memory lane.
Exchange those quarters, because this podcast takes tokens.
Welcome back to This Podcast Takes Tokens. This program is designed to deliver information about a wide array of nostalgic touchstones for millennials like you. Our content is maximum fun and totally rad. You can enjoy the video version where we talk on camera like this, or the audio version for the millennial on the go. Viewer engagement is measured through subscriptions and likes from viewers like you. Thank you for engaging with this content and have an awesome day.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought it might be fun to kind of do a office training video.
Yes.
For our office episode.
The Office. Dunder
The
Mifflin.
Office, yes. Today we are talking about The Office. Kind of a generic title, I must admit. It's hard to search sometimes, but luckily it's popular enough that it tends to rank amongst the top of searches.
Yeah. This show just exploded.
Oh yeah.
So good.
I remember first discovering it like in the first season. I think season 1 had ran, because they ran season 1 in the spring of 2005, and season 2 was just starting. And I had had it out earlier, I put it away, my iPod video. Like I had a black iPod video when they first came out, you know? And they had The Office. You could buy the entire season for like $6.99. So I bought the whole season on iTunes and loaded them up on my iPod, and I'd sit there and on my breaks at work and I'd watch them like over and over and over again. The first season. I think I bought the first and the second season. Like I bought the second season episodically as it was coming out. So like $2 an episode. Oh, sure. Which is highway robbery, if you ask me right now. But I did, and I enjoyed it. And, you know, I watched those first 2 seasons so much, and then I discovered DVDs. And when you own a DVD, you can create digital copies for yourself, I believe, legally. Correct? Yes. And so I did that a lot.
Yep.
And but yeah, this was a great fun. I enjoyed it. And that was like my earliest memories of getting it on there. But when did you first discover it?
You know, I don't specifically remember. I do remember my friend Ian talking to me about it. He's like, "Oh, have you watched The Office? Like, you've got to see The Office." And I don't remember specifically what age I was or whatever when that happened, but I do remember watching. The first episode I actually watched was the healthcare episode. So I think it was like episode 3 or something. But I fell in love with it. And then I went back, and I think maybe it was like a rerun I was watching on TV or something. Maybe it was on one night, and he's like, "Oh, you got to watch The Office." That may have been what it was. But yeah, I went back and I started watching it, and I would watch reruns for a while, and then I ended up getting some, I think I got like the first 2 seasons on DVD or something. And then I kind of fell off of it for a while. And then when it came back and started streaming on, I think Netflix had it for quite a while. Yeah. I watched the whole thing on Netflix, and I've watched this series. I don't know. I can't count how many times I've watched this. Yeah. This is one of those shows. There's probably like 4 sitcoms that I can rewatch over and over again. So it's That 70s Show, Seinfeld, Modern Family, and The Office. And this is probably honestly my favorite sitcom ever is The Office. It's just, it's good through and through. Even when people don't like, there's some people that don't like the last couple seasons, and I get it, but I still like them. I think it's good all the way through. But
yeah, like as much as I gotta say, this is probably my least favorite season, is season 1.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And it's only because it's just like, it's a little rough, but like all season 1s are kind of like that on all shows. They're a little rough. And then season 2, they usually start kind of like working out the kinks. I got to say though, season 1 was a little rough. Season 2, man, they just like, they figured it out and they went with it, and it worked great after that. Like it didn't not work great before that. It was definitely like they were like, okay, we got this idea from the UK. We're going to make a US version of it. And they were kind of figuring that out for the first 6 episodes. But once they figured it out, like they got it pretty quick, and It worked out really well. I'm glad they changed Michael's hair. It really bugs me in season 1.
Yeah, and so I know what they were going for. Have you watched the UK version at all?
Yes. Well, I've seen like bits and pieces of it. I've never actually watched it.
So I went back and I watched the first episode this week.
Okay.
And then I watched, because I watched this first season in like a night, like 2 nights ago.
Yeah. It's like 3 hours.
Yeah, it's like 6 episodes. It is almost shot for shot the first season of the UK version. And
it is. That's what they said they were for the first episode. Definitely 100%.
Yeah. The first episode was, and I know. So my thing with this season that I don't like, and I know a lot of people don't like this. Michael is almost like just insufferable in this first season, and that's because he was trying to play the boss of the office like Ricky Gervais was in the UK version. Because Ricky Gervais is like that in the UK, like he's very just obnoxious and kind of a jerk. And then they changed that in season 2. Like Michael's still kind of, well, he's still obnoxious, but he's a lovable obnoxious. Like, you know, at his core, like Michael cares about the people he works with, except for Toby. And he just wants to be loved, right? He wants people to love him, and that's endearing. Like that's you're like, okay, I love this character, even if everybody else thinks he's annoying, and yeah, he does stupid stuff, but I love him. But you don't feel that way about Michael in the first season. You're just like, gosh, this guy's like a jerk. Like when he does that fake firing for Pam.
Oh God, that was awful.
Oh my gosh. And it's almost like they, after season 1, they looked at everything and all the characters, and they kind of almost did a soft reset on some of the characters. Like
a little bit.
Creed is almost virtually non-used in the first season.
Yeah.
And like Angela, I mean, we can get into some of the episodes, but there's a couple spots in the first season where she's like, you know, kind of laughing and kind of, you know, playing around with people. But, you know, in subsequent seasons, she's straight-laced and, you know, like, oh, no, we don't do this. We're here to work. Yeah. And really Dwight, too. I think Dwight in the first season, he's almost written to where he's almost like kind of childish a little bit, where he doesn't understand like female anatomy and like just different things like that. And then in later seasons, like he's really smart, you know. So I don't know. I think it's not like a crazy overhaul, but I do think that they like you're saying, they found the click in season 2,
and it comes down to what I've read about, especially with the Michael Scott character, is Ricky Gervais, who's producer on it, was talking to, you know, the rest of the crew and the cast and everything. He was talking with them about the Michael Scott character when whenever they're going into season 2. And he said, y'all need to do 2 things with Michael Scott. He needs to be like the Michael or my character on the UK version was not good at his job and he was obnoxious, but that works in the UK because in the UK it's really hard to fire somebody. Like you can't just fire somebody for being incompetent. But in the US, Michael would be fired for being incompetent. So he needs to be really good at sales and, you know, like amazing at sales, like almost superhuman at it. And that's where we get the episode where he's at Chili's with Jan and them. And, you know, he's just like a savant salesman all of a sudden.
Yep.
And then he also needs to be more childlike and kind of have that, like, that wistful yearning for life, like a child, like be a little more, you know, wondrous in his pursuits, still have that eye of the child type of thing going on. And that's what they implemented, and that definitely pivoted the character without changing the character. It just layered on, like you said, a little bit of softening, kind of took it down a little bit. And like I think that works. I don't think though, that Steve Carell was necessarily mirroring his performance off of Ricky Gervais, and I only say that because everything I've heard Steve Carell refer to the Office UK, he said he never watched it. He watched part of the first episode, but as soon as he decided he was going to do it, he shut it off and blocked it out. Like, he did not want to watch it because he did not want to be influenced by the performance. Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe it's part of the writing. Maybe the writing, obviously the writing probably watched it and that was influenced, which then came through on him. But yeah, so he says that he didn't. I think it was the writing. It's probably the writing that influenced him there.
It must be, because, like I said, like literally even down to the dialogue, it's almost the exact. Like they're the same beats. They're in the same situation. Like Pam, in the first episode, she that fax comes through and Michael has her throw it in the trash. That happens in the UK version, and then Jan walks in. The UK's equivalent of Jan walks in, and he answers the phone when they're in the meeting, and it's Packard, or I can't remember what his name was in the UK, but they're saying all these derogatory things about Jan and these sexist remarks, and everything. It's almost, there's a couple little differences, but yeah, I think you're right. It's like they took episode 1. They're like, okay, we're literally going to bring this into the
see how it works.
Yeah,
and then go from there, which they did. Yeah, and it worked. It worked great.
It's fantastic. Sure. I mean, this is a show that I feel like will be talked about and rewatched for decades and decades.
They're still making other versions of it in other countries. Yep. Like we just saw on Amazon Prime, they got the Australia, The Office, or whatever that they're running right now. So yeah, like it's going to continue to live on because it can be adopted to so many different like countries and nationalities.
Cultures and
cultures. Yeah, because like everybody's workplace, like the workplace is not the same in the UK as it is in the US, as it is in Australia, as it is in Thailand or whatever.
I think they've done like a version in India too.
They did. And the NBC tried to do a version of The Office in India called Outsourced. And it was a TV show they ran for like 2 seasons, I think.
Okay.
And it was all about a guy in the US that was a manager, and his job gets outsourced to India along with his like entire call center or something. And he's given the option of relocating to India with the call center or being let go. And he decides, since he's like a single guy or whatever, he's going to go off and go on this adventure or whatever and go to India and pursue his job. And it was kind of like an office in India, but it was funny. I watched it.
Yeah.
But yeah, The Office.
Yeah.
It's lots of fun. Yeah. Season 1. So that's all we watched was season 1. We're going to try and focus here on season 1 as we go. Going forward, as we do these TV show themed episodes, we're just going to focus. If it's the first time we're covering the TV show, we're going to focus on the first season. If that season is more than 20 years old, and if we decide to revisit it, then we can revisit another season should we decide to. We didn't do this with our first TV show ones. We did the Lost one and that 70s show.
That 70s show, yep.
And that 70s show ended up being so long that we split it into 2 because it went a while. And
like 8 seasons to talk about.
And I think Lost, we did kind of focus on season 1 with Lost for the most part, I think. But yeah, it's a lot especially to go back and rewatch all of it. Ooh,
yeah.
So
because we like to rewatch these things so we can have a fresh set of eyes and it's fresh in our minds, before we discuss it.
Talk about it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But the big fire with Pam, that was awkward. It was awful. That was rough. And I watched the Superfan episodes on Peacock when I rewatched it, which are like
about those,
almost double episodes in some cases.
Wow.
Like some of them get to like 40 minutes long.
Holy cow.
But in those, there's a lot more of obnoxious Michael. And it's a lot. Yeah, I can see. I'm glad they cut a lot of that out. But yeah, that was I was watching those, and that's really kind of a lot of what got cut was a lot of Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the Jim and Pam stuff, some of the Jim and Dwight stuff, but a lot of Michael ended up getting cut, which is fine. You know that originally, and this is probably you're gonna applaud this, but originally they wanted what's his name, Will Ferrell, to play Michael Scott.
Yeah. Yeah, which, I did know that, and of course, you know, I know we're going to try to stick to season 1, but they do end up bringing him in.
They bring him back,
you know, for a couple episodes. But yeah, I had heard that. Can you imagine though? Can you really imagine? I mean, obviously, story wise, like, you know.
Well, which version would he be playing? Like the character he played, or this Michael Scott character?
I don't know. Yeah.
I can't imagine him as the Michael Scott one. I feel like he would come off as way too much of a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
Will Ferrell would.
Yeah, I could see that. He'd be pretty abrasive, I think, and
I feel like there's a softness to Steve Carell's face.
Yes,
that helps.
Well, he has a way of like just. Well, no, that's exactly what it is. Like Steve Carell, he can just make a face. And you know exactly what Michael is thinking with that. Yeah. It's just he is Michael Scott. Like, I can't envision anybody else playing the character Michael Scott. No. Other people can be in that position of the manager of that, but Michael Scott is Steve Carell. It's like they're just one and the same. Like I can't imagine anybody else playing him.
I would say that with any of the characters.
I know. That's exactly what I was going to say. I feel that way with anybody else, that everybody, this is one of those shows where just everybody is perfectly cast.
Yeah.
Down to even Roy. Like, I can't remember the guy's name that plays Roy, but like, he does an excellent job of just being this guy that you just don't like.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But he's a guy that's like, I don't like him, but I guess if that's who she picks, like,
yeah,
that's fine. But yeah, he was definitely like, we can do without this guy. But you got to have some opposition there for Jim and Pam in there early on.
You do. And you know, rewatching this, one thing that I hadn't ever noticed before is many times I watch this, it's weird that, you know, you rewatch it again and you'll find something new. Pam, I can't remember which episode it was. One of the episodes, Pam has to ask Roy for permission to go out with her friends.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa. Like, I don't remember this, but like that just adds another layer of like how much of a jerk this guy is.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's because like he had plans, but his plans were he just wanted to go home, I think. Like he didn't really have plans. He just didn't want her to go out without him.
Yeah.
Which, that's not cool.
Yeah. I mean, just completely insecurity on his part, right? Like,
yeah,
somebody might pick her up or something, or, whatever.
He knows what he's got.
Well, treat her better, Roy. But,
right? Yeah. Oh, man. Have you seen some of the alternate castings? From the
I did see, I can't remember what his name is. Guy with like the big glasses. I don't even. He's got the trucker hat on. Anyway, I saw somebody else that was going to be. Casted for
Judah something. I can't remember.
Yeah, he tried out for Dwight or whatever.
Yeah.
Who was it that tried out? Somebody fairly recognizable that tried out for Jim.
Seth Rogen, Adam Scott, John Cho. They all tried out for Jim.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
As well as they seem to audition the Jim, Dwight, and Michael characters all together, and they had everybody read for all three characters, and then they did the same with Pam, Angela, and Phyllis. Like they had people reading for all three of those characters, which I found to be interesting. But I guess that kind of works.
Mm-hmm.
And Seth Rogen, Adam Scott, and John Cho are some of the big ones that read for it as well. Michael Scott's character was read for by Martin Short, of all people.
Oh, really?
Tom Hanks, Bob Odenkirk, Nick Offerman. All these would have been great.
I could see Bob Odenkirk, I guess. I mean, well,
yeah, he did come back. He kind of played it for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I say that, and I know, like, I'm backpedaling because I did say that I can't see anybody else playing Michael Scott than Steve Carell, which I guess is true. But I could see a
version with Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah,
for sure. Especially because, like, he did that episode where he was manager of a different office.
Yeah,
and he kind of played a Michael Scott type character.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then Patton Oswalt auditioned for Dwight, which would be interesting.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah.
And then my favorite what if here. This is probably I don't know, maybe I wouldn't have known what I was missing if I didn't have him. Like in place of Brian Baumgartner, which does a fantastic job with Kevin. And he's such a great guy. Like I see him on interviews and everything, and he's got like a whole like I think he does like cooking channel stuff and yeah. So he's a sweetheart. He's great to watch. He's really like into sports and poker and stuff. But anyways, Eric Stonestreet read for the part and was closely contending with him on that part.
Wow.
Which is interesting.
You know who else I could see? Like this, I mean, he was deceased this time, but could you see Chris Farley in that role?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It feels like a Chris Farley role for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be interesting. Another one of those what could have been moments.
Yeah.
Although I could also see Chris Farley playing a completely different version of like the Michael Scott character too. And it just like it being great.
Yeah.
If they did Chris Farley in The Office in this role, could you let David Spade in as the Dwight character?
Man, that's rough. I don't know. I don't even know think about that. Well, again, you know, like all jokes aside, like I don't see I really don't see anybody else playing Dwight.
No,
like Rainn Wilson is just
he nailed it.
I mean, and that's the thing, like this show made household names of so many people.
Yeah.
And
I remember when I first watched this though, I recognized him from he was on House of a Thousand Corpses, the Rob Zombie movie.
He was. Yes. Yep.
And that was the only other thing. And I didn't like his performance didn't stick with me or anything in that. But whenever I watched this, I was like, oh, that's the kid from House of a Thousand Corpses. But yeah, like that was like one of the first times where I was like, oh, I recognize that person from something else, and weird. But yeah, can't imagine anybody else playing that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then everybody else kind of like I said, all the people like Angela auditioned for Pam's role and vice versa, and they were like, well, let's switch up this reading, and then they read the opposite, and they were like, oh, that works much better, and things like that. Like you could kind of see like where all the actors could theoretically be slotted from one character to another and maybe make it work, but it definitely works better the way they arranged it.
The way it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you said, there's not a missed beat here. Yeah. They did a great job with this one.
Yeah.
And I don't know, do you know that Angela Kinsley and Jenna Fisher are best friends in real life?
Yep. And they've got their own podcast.
They have their own rewatch podcast. That's right.
Yep. Yeah. Maybe we can get them on the show sometime. Who knows, we can team up.
Maybe. I don't know if I could handle that, but all right.
Yeah.
But one more casting what if. I thought this one was interesting. The role of Michael Scott was offered to Paul Giamatti, who declined it. That would be so different.
I love Paul Giamatti, but I don't see him doing this role.
No,
I can't see it. Can't see it. Excellent.
It's a different universe. Yeah.
Great actor. Can't see it.
It's a different universe. No. Well, okay. How about let's go with favorite episode from season 1.
Favorite episode. Healthcare.
Healthcare
is oh my gosh. Just all of the different ailments that they come up with. Yeah. And when Dwight's out there, hot dog fingers, Count Chocolitis, flesh-eating bacteria. Here's one. This scream, anal fissures. That's a real thing. Yeah, but nobody here has it.
Somebody might have it.
Somebody has it. And then everybody's just like, it's so awkward.
Yes.
And I think that's what's so good about, that's one thing the show does so well. It takes awkward moments and it makes you feel awkward watching it, but you can't turn away from it. Like, and it's, oh my gosh.
You have to be a fly on the wall.
Yes. The healthcare, I don't know. Just the whole thing, you know, and Michael's like, oh, I got a surprise for everybody. Yeah. You know,
I'm gonna make this better. I'm gonna get everybody surprised.
Ice cream sandwiches.
It better not be ice cream sandwiches. Crap.
This better not be our surprise. Stanley's so great. And when Michael's he's at the travel agency and he's trying to there's this all inclusive, trip to Atlantic City, and they bring a bus and they pick you up. It's free. It's all comped, and you go and they give you
free
chips.
Free food,
everything's comped. Everything's comped. Like, I don't think there's something like that.
I think you're thinking of the movies, man.
Yeah.
It's not a real thing.
What's your favorite episode?
I was honestly, whenever I asked the question, I put down like these questions to ask as I'm rewatching it, and I watched them in order, and I was on healthcare, and I thought, okay, this is probably my favorite episode. And then I watched through with the Alliance and basketball, and then I had Hot Girl left, and I was like, oh, it's probably not gonna be Hot Girl. And I don't know if let me hemming and hawing here, but I was like, maybe it's Hot Girl. I don't know, because I remember liking that one a lot too, and I was like, I don't know, did I like it a lot, or did I just like Amy Adams? I don't know.
Yeah.
So I watched
Guilty
Hot
as
Girl.
charged.
I gotta say, it's Hot Girl. I think Hot Girl is my favorite episode from the first season, and it's just because of it's just the watching Michael and Dwight falling all over themselves to impress Katie and get her attention, only to have Jim swoop in at the last minute, and just walk away with his charms her up and walks away with her. Yep. It was just great. I just enjoyed it so much.
That's Jim. And, he's just so smooth and
that, and then him getting Dwight to buy a purse was so funny.
Yes. Yes.
And the extended cut has a lot of Jim messing with Dwight about the purse. He's sitting there at the desk, and they're Dwight's got the purse on the desk, and they're working. And Jim's like, hey, you should probably put some stuff in that so that, cause she might be watching, so she can see that you're using it and that you enjoy it. He's like, oh, you think I should? And yeah, okay. So he starts putting office supplies in there and everything. And then he puts it on, and he's wearing it while he's working. So he's typing at the computer wearing this purse. And then later, Jim comes across him in the kitchen area. And he's like, hey, Dwight, where's your stapler? I need to staple some things together. He goes, oh, it's in my purse. And everybody else is in the kitchen around, and they all kind of look at him like, what? He just keeps kind of messing with them about the purse. It was just great.
So funny. So funny. See, there's just so many just little bits in the show. Just little things that don't even really have to do with the plot of the episode.
No, yeah.
That they throw in there. And it's like world building, it's just and you learn little bits about people just through, just, I don't know, different little quick interviews, or whatever. My favorite part about that episode is when Michael takes Ryan to go down and clean out the car.
Oh, yes.
And they're going through everything, and I don't know why it's so funny to me, but Ryan's like, oh, do you want to throw away this this unopened bottle of
empty
sports
drink?
The sports drink. What flavor is it? And he's like, blue. Blue's not a flavor. And he's like, Blue Blast. And I don't know why it's so
Blast,
funny. Yeah, Blue Blast is great.
Blue isn't a flavor.
Blue isn't a flavor. Yeah. And
I was afraid that you were going to step on my favorite line.
Oh, okay.
Which my favorite line is when in that same scene, well, I guess it's the scene later, and Brian asks him, he's looking around the car and he goes, "How many filet-o-fishes have you eaten?" And Michael goes, "That's over several months, Ryan."
Over several months.
And Ryan's like, "Still." So yeah, that was my favorite line.
I feel like Ryan he's more likable in this season than subsequent seasons. And it's when he becomes the boss.
It is. He becomes unlikable.
It is. But I love all the interactions he has in this. Like, because he's awkwardly standing there or sitting there with Michael in all these situations. Like when Michael fake fires Pam. And then he's like laughing and he's like, "Oh, he was in on it too." And it pans over to Ryan and Ryan's just like shaking his head no. And then when they're at the basketball episode, when he's like trash talking, what's he say? He says something and Ryan's just like, act like, "I don't even want to be here." And I don't know. Those are some of the funniest parts to me in that first season. Just their interactions together and I don't know.
Although that reminds me that one of my favorite one of my favorite lines from the entire show is a Ryan line, and it's in season 2, the Valentine's Day episode, where he's like, "Oh my God, I hooked up with her on February 13th. And like the whole thing with like him and Kelly starts, and it's just like this great little run.
Yes.
And it all starts with that little moment, and it's one of my favorite moments from the whole show.
"Well, Ryan, what would you say if I told you I'm pregnant?" And then like immediately it cuts to her shaking her head no to the camera. So what was your favorite line from season 1? It was from Diversity Day.
Okay.
Diversity Day is a rough episode to watch, but it's funny. It's another one of those, like, it's so awkward. It's when Michael is going through, I think it's after the coach leaves, and then Michael brings everybody back and he's like, "All right, we're going to do this. We don't need what he was doing. Like, let's do this. Let's do this the real way."
Backwards.
And he's like talking about, what everyone's ethnicity is. And he's like, asking Oscar, like, "Where's your parents from?" Or whatever. And he's like, oh yeah. He's like really getting into it. Like, "Oh, that's so good." But then like he's talking about himself and he's like, I'm 2/15 Native American."
Like,
and Oscar's like, that doesn't make sense. I don't know why. It cracks me up every time. Stanley's got black on his head. He got
or Dwight, he's like, "Oh man, am I a woman?"
Yeah.
Which what did they make Dwight? It wasn't.
What was it? Oh, he was Chinese.
Was that what it was? Okay,
yeah. He was
in the extended version. He's not Chinese.
Oh, he's not.
Jim writes Dwight on his card and then puts it on his forehead. And so like he's talking to Pam and he's like, "Is my race like whatever?" And she's like, "No." And she's just answering it like it's Dwight. And at one point he's like, "Am I an alien race?" And she's like, "I don't know." It's just great. There's this whole moment. And then like he flips it over and he's like, "Arr!" And then like he's mad and everything, but
"Take it, Jim."
Yeah. So that was a great little, like, I wish they would have kept that in there. I thought that was a great version of it. But yeah. The Diversity Day episode, speaking of which, is the most skipped episode when syndicating on cable because of the racial insensitivities that are portrayed. So a lot of times whenever they're syndicating it, they'll skip that episode.
I mean, I can see that. Like nowadays, that episode wouldn't fly if they were trying to. Which is weird because that's like just like 20 years ago.
Yeah,
but
it's not that far back.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I guess I can't say like I'm not of a like minority ethnicity.
Yeah,
but. I don't know. I don't feel like it's as probably controversial as like the networks think it.
Yeah, I feel like it more points out the hypocrisies and the not attitudes, but like the way a lot of this is handled or mishandled in some cases, and how well-intentioned people can be very misguided in the way they want to address these things. And, but yeah, like it just comes off as surfacely pretty rough for sure. But it was also the first episode, Diversity Day, was NBC's first episode to air online, and it was webcast on MySpace in March of 2005 to promote the show's launch.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. MySpace. There's a relic.
Right?
Golly.
Kids, MySpace was the Facebook before Facebook, which was the TikTok before Facebook, I think. I don't know. I don't know the genealogy of social networking, but MySpace was before Facebook, everybody. Yeah. Everybody was friends with Tom. He has no friends anymore. No. But yeah. Diversity Day. It's a little interesting there.
Yeah. That's
well, while we're on the subject of the pranks.
Okay. We'll do that.
Favorite prank?
Well, actually, it leads into what I just said. The alliance. Yeah. It's when Jim is convincing Dwight, that they're, whatever. But it's not necessarily
it's
just
my
that
same
prank.
Reason, isn't it?
It's when he convinces him to go in the box when he's in the box in the warehouse, and then
that's a great part. Yeah.
Pam goes down there.
Yes.
And he's like, clearly he's not even like subtle.
Not subtle.
Just cuts a hole in the
she's just losing it.
And I almost think, like, I didn't look this up, but I almost wonder if that's a legitimate reaction from Jenna Fisher.
Not being able to hold together? Absolutely.
Yes, because it looks super genuine.
Yeah. But it works for the role. It works for
it does
for
too.
It
Yeah.
So that's probably my favorite prank too. But my favorite prank for the reason that at the end, when he gets Dwight to dye his hair blonde.
Oh, yeah.
The culmination of it is just my favorite. And like, Roy busts in and he's like, "Hey man, you trying to cop a feel?" And like gets all alpha. And then Dwight, he's like, no man, me and Dwight, we were just doing this. Oh, it's an alliance thing, And Dwight's like, I have no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And then like the next thing it cuts to the talking head and he's got this bleach blonde hair. Like he's still going through with it.
He is, yeah.
But yeah, that was probably my favorite part too.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was best episode 1 or season 1 prank. I don't think I could do justice to pick a favorite overall prank. I don't know that I could. Although I guess like Dwight's wedding and the prank of having Michael show up was a pretty good one.
See, with me, I liked having Michael in the last episode.
Yeah.
But I felt like a better fit for that would have been Jim being his best man at his wedding. Because like they go from this, the series starts season 1, like they're adversaries. Like Jim's, and then at the end of the series, like he's his best man in his wedding. Like I feel like that would have been a lot better fit. Because he was supposed to be until, he brings Michael in.
Yeah.
That's just me. I don't know. I think
Dwight admires Michael so much.
Yeah,
more.
he does. Yeah.
I think you kind of get both of them. Like he was supposed to be the best man. So
yeah.
And then as best man, he gives Dwight the thing that he's always wanted. So.
Yeah, well, that's true. And I do think, like, that's true. And, I think the Dwight and Jim relationship is probably the best arc. I think I'd say it's even better than the Pam and Jim relationship. Like the Pam and Jim relationships, the everybody loves it. I love it. I get mushy about it. I love it. But like, Dwight and Jim, like I said, they're like, button heads all the time, and they, at the end, they're just like best friends almost.
And best buds.
Yeah, I love it.
We snuck in a best buds.
We did. One more. Yeah.
Bonus. Yeah. Well, I guess, favorite season from The Office? Do you got a favorite season?
Season 6. It's
season 6.
It's the end. That's when Jim and Pam get married. That's when they have their child, Cece. And that's also like the last full season that Michael's there.
Yeah.
And I just think like that, because then you've got Andy there too, and Andy's a great character until the last couple seasons when they just ruined him. But you've got Andy in there. You've just got a really good cast, and it's really at like its rhythm. And like in season 6, it's just, I feel like it's just firing, and it's so good. And then you've got, like I said, I love Softy and me. I love the whole Jim and Pam, thing, and it's great.
I would argue that's the better relationship, but
really,
we won't get into that.
Well, but yeah, I don't know. Six is my favorite. What's yours?
I went back and forth on this one a lot. Season 2 has some of my favorite episodes, like the Dundies, the Office Olympics, the client that we talked about, Dwight's speech, every holiday episode that they did, the casino night, Jim and Pam share their first kiss.
Yeah.
Season 2 has some of my favorite episodes, but I think season 4 is my favorite for 3 reasons. And it's not any individual episode. It's 3 main arcs. Jim and Pam finally get together. So we got the beginning of their relationship, which is some of the best Jim and Pam stuff, I think. And then you've got Ryan's rise to power and subsequent fall from power, which is so much fun to watch. It's like, you watch him become almost like this super villain, only to like fall on his face. And it feels earned. And then the third reason is watching Jan and Michael become an increasingly unhinged couple, culminating in the dinner party episode with the Dundee being thrown through the TV is one of my favorites.
That's one of the, oh my gosh, there's a lot, there's a lot of awkward episodes to watch.
Yeah.
To me,
that one's
awkward. And Scott's Tots are like the worst, the hardest ones to like. I mean, not like. I mean, I'm still gonna watch them, but like, you're just like, oh my gosh, this is. It's
like
a
10
situation.
Sour Patch Kids at once. Yes,
but isn't in season 4 like? Isn't that the episode where I think Michael and Dwight and maybe Andy, they go out like clubbing with Ryan?
Yes.
And he's like hyped up. And so
one of my keeps talking about his friend as like one of the Lord of the Rings characters.
That's like one of my favorite lines in the whole series, when he like asks the guy, he's like, "Do you have powers?"
and the whole time Ryan is just like is flying.
Oh man. Yeah.
He's on it.
Yeah.
And you can see like this is the end for Ryan. Like he is starting his descent. He's reaching rock bottom as we watch. And then it all just falls apart for the guy.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's well deserved.
Well deserved. Oh yeah. So season 1. Get back to that for a little bit. Yeah, that's I don't know. So they do like the whole like going back to the healthcare episode. I'm gonna circle back around to that because my notes are all over the place. And so Dwight picks this awful healthcare plan that has no benefits to it, and then like the clock runs out, and Michael's like, "Oh man, well I guess we're stuck with this awful healthcare plan. Thanks Dwight for nothing." Are they stuck with this awful healthcare plan? Like that's it? They're just locked in?
I don't think there's any way, because Jan knows at this point that like Dwight's been doing it. I don't think they're going to let that fly. I think they're going to make Michael like come in on like a
Saturday
day off or something and get that figured out. Yeah. There's no way. There's no way.
No, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, there's no way they do this. Speaking of coming in on their day off, there's that basketball game episode, right? And they're playing to see who has to come in on their day off.
Yep.
I think it makes a difference between whether the office staff comes in or the warehouse staff comes in, as far as like what can get done.
Yeah, I don't get that one.
That didn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Yeah, like what's the warehouse staff gonna do?
Right.
For sales.
Right.
Like, yeah.
And what sales are you going to make on a Saturday morning?
Oh,
like nobody's in their offices. Everybody's at home on the weekends. Yeah. Nobody wants to work. That part doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know what work they're doing. Maybe they're doing inventory. Maybe that's where the, warehouse workers could possibly do it. But yeah, that whole like, what they ask him? They asked Michael to pick some people to come in and work over the weekend. It had to have been just like menial, like nothing work. It couldn't have been anything. Which they're short. They're worried about like staffing cuts, and here they are running in overtime.
Coming on a Saturday,
right?
Yeah. Which I guess though, like like the sales staff, they're all like salary and
that's true. Like they make based off commissions and everything.
Yeah. I'm sure the warehouse workers aren't. They've got to be hourly. Like there's no way that they,
yeah, they're 100% hourly.
That basketball game though. I mean, like I love how Michael just picks Stanley because he's black and he thinks he's going to be good at basketball.
And then Stanley starts playing and does like that weird like ducktail thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, come on."
Kidding me. Then it shows Kevin at the end, like post credits, and he's just swishing him. Like
Kevin and Phyllis and Oscar and all the people that he was like, no, you're gonna be awful.
Yep.
And then show Stanley and he's just nothing. Yeah, that was great.
Do you think they would have? Do you think they would have won the game? I mean, they
were already ahead.
Yeah,
I can't imagine how much more of the game they had left to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that was also like, I mean, that's a Michael move, but there was that one hit me the wrong way too. Like, come on.
And I do kind of like in that. So I'm thinking about that gave me thoughts about Jim and like how he's trying to show off for Pam and all this stuff. So as much
She's
of
liking
a jerk, she is. As much as a jerk I think that Roy is, I also feel like Pam. I feel like Jim is kind of overstepping his bounds just a little bit.
Can't help it.
I know he can't help it, but still, like she's. Well, I'm not. She on paper, or not paper. Officially, she's engaged, but is she really?
Is she? Yeah, like after a while, don't you have to redo those vows, or like don't you have to repropose or something like that? It's been like what 4 years?
Yeah.
I think there's an expiration date on a proposal.
Yeah, like that's
but
rough.
I think that's up to her as well. Like,
oh sure, yeah.
As far as like that engagement is still valid,
we're gonna do this, or we're gonna be done.
Yeah. Which I mean, I guess like season 2, to her credit, she kind of like puts her foot down a little more on that.
Yeah.
Stands up for herself a little more, which was like one of my favorite things in season 3 is watching her assert herself a little more and become fully realized, and she kind of stands up for herself, and like she does the whole firewalk thing, and then all that was good to see. I liked watching that.
Yeah.
So back on the basketball episode, Michael is talking this big game about he plays these pickup games with Packard, and he's playing basketball on the weekend, swish swish swish, like I do. Is he delusional, or is he just full of it?
Oh, I think he's completely full of it. I mean, how often was he? I mean, this season specifically, like he says all this stuff, and he's just like, oh my gosh, he's just talk. Like
he's so boastful about everything. Yeah. Almost, I feel like that's something that Dwight takes on. Dwight becomes very boastful going forward about like his prowess on everything.
Yep.
And whereas Michael becomes a little more, I don't want to say reserved, but calculated, I guess.
Yeah.
In what he says.
A little more. I feel like he becomes like a little more honest. Like I'm not going to say like he's completely honest all the time, but like he speaks his mind a little
honest
more
to his
honestly.
point of view.
Yeah. But when you were talking about like him, swish, 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 there's that scene where he's like, boom, he's dunking, and then it zooms out.
Oh yeah.
And the warehouse worker just like lifts it.
because it was like 6 feet tall or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
That was great. And then he's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna do it anymore."
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that face guard that Dwight was wearing? I
Well,
mean, I've seen people wear those,
yeah.
but like I don't know, like
I don't know how effective that would be at keeping you from getting a broken nose, because like
yeah.
it's squishing his nose down already. So like one good elbow, there's not much room for you to go there. But yeah, that was ridiculous. But it's Dwight. I like when he tries to take a drink and it just like all
himself.
goes.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, all right. I'm going to jump around some episodes, if you will.
Okay.
The first prank we see is, and this is, I have a theory.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jim. All right. So it seems like Jim is kind of picking on Dwight with all these pranks, like throughout the seasons, right? But the first prank we see is Dwight doing the old fake out shoulder tap on Jim to kind of like, like whatever. Did the prank start with Jim being hazed by Dwight whenever he was first hired? Because remember, they tell stories about like Jim training under Dwight when he first got hired.
There's that picture
Dwight,
in a later season with him. Dwight's
and
arm
Dwight
around
kind of hazes him a little bit.
Yeah,
Like he has him like do the whole farming thing, like because he talks about like how he had to do it and everything. And so did it get to a point where Jim just couldn't take it anymore and he was like, you know what, I'm just going to turn around and dish it back out to him. And then Dwight just can't take it as well as he dishes it.
I really like. I'd never thought about it, but now that you say that, I think that's it. Because if you look at Jim as a character, like he's pretty easygoing with most people, with like everybody really. Like he's just a nice guy. Yeah. So I can't envision him like just starting to prank him in all these different ways. Yeah. Like it had to have been provoked. Like he's just, I'm sick and tired of this. So I'm gonna start.
We see it with Andy, and we see it a little with Ryan. He kind of likes to take the vinegar out of people whenever they're being a little much. Like with Ryan, he gets a little, kind of like whenever Ryan's like season 2, he's like head honcho, and Jim finally calls him up and leaves that like that voicemail where he kind of tells him off. He has no problem with that, and then then he calls him, or what did he do? He did, I can't remember exactly what he did. I think he did something, and then like because Ryan was like, hey man, just put in the sales on the site and all this other stuff, and then it was kind of bugging Jim, and then finally like Jim saw him being arrested and he called him up and he left that message. He's like, you know what, those other messages before, don't worry about them, you got things to deal with.
Yeah, you got bigger problems right now.
Yes. And it was definitely like that. And then like with Andy, and like he stole his cell phone and threw it up in the rafters and lost it. Andy just lost his stuff and punched a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
That was him just kind of like, taking him down a peg. Like I feel like that's his role, is to kind of like level everybody out. And he does a good job with it. He doesn't do it with Roy though. I feel like he's a little intimidated by Roy.
I think he's intimidated by Roy, but I also think like he cares about Pam enough to be like, well, that's her fiance. Like I'm not gonna.
I don't want to make things worse for her.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it's interesting. So interesting bit of knowledge gained from watching the extended versions on Peacock. Do you know how Roy proposed to Pam? He ran a discount ad in the newspaper, and she's telling this story on a talking head, and she's like, yeah, so like Valentine's Day, they were running, those like personal ads that you could run. Apparently you had to pay by the letter, because it just said, Pam, want marry Roy, or something like that. And that was the proposal. the paper. I was like, man, he couldn't even pay for a few extra letters.
Jeez.
Cheapskate.
That's Roy, though, right?
That's Roy.
That's Roy. Gosh.
Yeah. I felt like it fit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
so who do you think's who is the best character in The Office?
and
we can just leave it to season 1.
Yeah. How do you mean best character?
Who's your favorite character?
Just watch.
Character? Yeah.
Main cast. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's obviously Jim. I think he's a lot of fun to watch, and he's got a lot of good spots, things to say. Conversely, supporting cast, I think it's the opposite. It's got to be Roy. Watching the kind of getting that opposition in there, if you will. It's kind of the he's some people you like watching play the villain. And he plays a good villain.
He does. He does a really good job with it. Yeah.
And it's talking about like overarching story arcs for people. Watching his end with him being well-adjusted, happy, and in a great relationship with the person that he's supposed to be with was a great ending to his story.
Oh, sure.
And it was great to see. Like, I like in that where Pam's walking up to the wedding with Jim, and she's eating a banana as quickly as she can, and he's like, why are you eating a banana? They're gonna have food here. She's like, this is Roy's wedding. I planned a wedding with him. I know what's gonna be here. And then they would turn the corner, and it's this like really elegant affair, and it's just like, it's really well done. They got like string quartet going, and like little hors d'oeuvres and drinks and everything like that. And she's like, is this the same Roy? Like, what is going on here? She kind of has that moment, but it's a good little, like, as far as like anybody having an arc, I think he had a really great arc throughout the show. And it was good to see. Like, it goes from like the lowest of the lows where he's like being arrested for assault after him and Pam break up.
Yep.
To just, he turns it all around. So,
yeah.
But how about you?
Yeah. Well, Jim for the main cast. In this season's, I can't say that for Michael's so good, but in this season, it's going to be Jim. Supporting would be Ryan. Like I'd said before, it's just the way that he's like so awkwardly trying to distance himself from Michael, even though he really can't. Well, maybe he can, but he's like the temp, and he wants I think he wants more than a temp job. So he's like trying to suck up to Michael. Yeah. But he's also like, oh man, this guy.
He knows how to play the game.
Yeah.
That was, yeah. Absolutely. I don't know. We're talking about it now. I'm thinking more and more about it. I'm like, Brian Baumgartner, the Kevin character, man, that's a fun one too. Like, yeah. There's a lot of fun stuff. Like where they're all hanging out in the, like, it's just like little stuff with him. It's nothing really major. Like they're all hanging out in the break room, and they're eating lunch, and it's the hot girl episode, and I think it's the hot girl episode. Yeah. And Roy's sitting there, and he's like, oh man, if I wasn't dating Pam, I'd have a run at her or something like that. And they're they have that little moment, and then he's like, so Jim, what kind of girls are you into? And he's like, oh, moms, all kinds of moms, soccer moms, different types of moms. And then he's like, oh man, that's gross. What's wrong with you or something like that. And then Kevin comes in behind him, and he's like, stay away from my mom. It's too late. And it's just like the little things like that. Yeah. I really liked about the Kevin character.
There's one thing I noticed in this season that's like it's different from the other seasons. They don't really utilize Creed. You see him in a couple things, but like Creed overall is like probably my favorite side character. There's just so many funny things with Creed, but they don't
He's such a wild
do
card.
any of them. They don't do any of them in the in this season. So
I like how he's kind of playing himself. Like Creed Bratton is Creed Bratton, which is just like a little like meta, and I like it.
It is, and that's so like I like how like a lot of these characters, they don't really change their name. It's just you know,
like Angela,
Creed, Oscar, Phyllis, like, you know, but yeah, with Creed, like he played like in real life, Creed Bratton played, what band did he play? He played guitar for some like psychedelic band in the 60s or something like that.
60s psychedelic band. I can't remember the name of it either.
But gosh.
It was like a pretty big band too.
Yeah. What was that?
I'm going to look it up while you talk.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Just the stuff he's in. I mean, just he's so shady. He's so shady. And I don't think that they hadn't established that in the first season. I think he was just kind of just like, oh, okay, he's just a bad character in The Office.
Yeah.
And I'd like to know who came up with that. Like, was it BJ Novak? Was it Mindy Kaling? Like, because they were two of the main writers in the show. But it's brilliant.
It might have been him a little bit. Like, just kind of like being squirrely. Like, because like a lot of it was improvised. It's him being squirrely, you know, off the side. Like there was the one where, what was it? They were like, oh man, I can't remember now. It was something that they said, like something went wrong in one of the factories or something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then it cuts to him, and he's like, "Oh man, I haven't been out there in weeks. I hope they don't look into like whatever or something like that." Yeah. Or like another like, what was it? The episode where Michael's like, we got to distract everybody from like whatever horrible thing was happening in the episode, and they do like the murder mystery thing.
Yeah,
and Creed shows up late that episode, and he walks in, and you know, Michael starts going off on there's been a murder and blah blah blah, and Creed's like, yeah, cool. I'm just gonna go check on something out in the car, and then
you see him running to his car.
Yeah,
I love that. So there's that, like you were talking about, where he's supposed to like, there's like it's an obscene picture that came on a bunch of the paper, and he was supposed to have done it, but he blames it on this lady that
she
works
gets
there.
Fired.
She gets fired, so he like brings that card around. He's like, "Hey, you know this? She's got kids and everything. Like, I want to do a little something." So everybody's putting money in there, and at the end, you see him like he's throwing the card away. He's putting the money in his pocket. And then you remember that scene when it's like a dine and dash scene where I think Michael, he goes in to eat at the Chinese restaurant, and he realizes he doesn't have his wallet or something. They end up taking his picture. Yeah. And in the background, you see Creed's picture.
Yes. And he's got like top, like number one, no gratis, like do not let this guy in at all under any circumstance. Like he had like asterisks or something next to his, like, for sure. Yeah. That was the episode where he was like lost or something like that. Michael was, and they were trying to track him down.
Yes, that was it. That was it. Yeah. Holly tracks him down.
Holly ends up tracking him down. And what was it, like Dwight or Jim? One of them is like, shh, just like, let's let her lead the way. And then like they just like start following, and she's just like figuring it out. It was great.
Yep. Yeah. And she's gosh, I know we were just supposed to just talk about season 1, but she's the perfect person for Michael, and it's just that's another great arc.
Yes,
those two, and this show's just that's what I'm saying. Like it's so fun, it's so good, and it's so completely rewatchable.
Absolutely, and there isn't a single episode that can come on where I'm like, nah, I don't want to watch this one.
Yeah.
I enjoy it all for sure. Yeah. So the band that Creed was part of, the Grassroots, that's it. Yep. So for all those at home that are screaming at us, it's the Grassroots. Yes, we looked it up. We have the internet, and I know now.
Doesn't Creed finally gets arrested at the end of the series? Like it all catches up with him.
I think if I remember correctly, like the season ended and he had like gone off, and like they didn't even realize that like he left. And then he shows back up and he's wearing like these like robes. Yeah. Like white robes, and he's kind of like grown out his beard, and like they're all just kind of like sitting around and he's playing guitar, I think was the last time we saw him.
Okay.
And they're kind of having like a kumbaya moment. I don't remember.
I swore he got arrested at the end of that, but maybe not. Maybe not.
That might have been like whenever they did like the 1 year later or whatever, and they're watching the thing.
Yeah, I think that was it. Yep.
And that might have been like they just like do it as like a cliff note or like a like a blurb or whatever at the end of their mockumentary, and it's like he was arrested or something like that. Yeah. Or I think it was like as a result of the documentary coming out, he got arrested. That was it, because they ended up tracking him down.
Yes, that was it. Yep.
Yeah. Wild. I could go on and on and on about the show and this season. I have so many more notes that I haven't even like touched on yet. Like, I don't know. Phyllis Smith being born in Lemay, just outside of St. Louis, Missouri. Spent time as a ballet dancer, St. Louis Cardinals cheerleader, burlesque dancer with the Vaudeville Abbey Baggy Pants Burlesque and Mercer Brothers show. Giggles galore is just a wild fact to me.
Like, where do they find these people?
Right? Like, well, she was like a casting director's assistant. She was just reading lines, and they were like, "Oh, like that really works for the Phyllis character," and they just kind of had her fill in, and that's how she got the role.
That's awesome.
Which is just crazy. Yeah, I mean, especially like because she had been in entertainment to some extent, one way or another, since like she was a child, or not a child, but like I guess out of high school or whenever she started the ballet. And to end up on this show for 10 seasons is a great way to cap off a career. Like, you can't ask for better.
No. No.
And then one of my favorite facts, Gemma Fisher at this time was married to James Gunn. Random.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Her and James Gunn married for like 8 years or something like that. And like they got divorced in like, I think 2008.
You want to know another interesting tidbit?
Yeah.
Jenna Fisher went to college about an hour away from where I live at.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I know she grew up like fairly close, like kind of just outside St. Louis. She was like raised outside of St. Louis or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yep.
Trenton?
No, not Trenton.
Kirksville.
Truman State University.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah, nuts. And I went over there, like, my son had something going on over there several years ago when he was in high school. No, she wasn't. He had, like, a band thing going on over there. In their performing arts center, they don't have, like, I figure they would have, like, something with her by the performing arts center. But I didn't see anything.
Well,
so
I guess nobody got the memo.
Yeah.
Well, I got more, but I'm going to let it go. Hey, got any final thoughts on The Office?
Maybe sometime down the road, talking to you people that are watching and listening, if we get enough listeners, we can just do a live discussion with everybody.
Yeah.
About The Office.
Or we can start doing a rewatch every episode and review it as a bonus feature for everybody.
There we go.
One at a time.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a dream, right?
Like, subscribe, and recommend to your friends.
Absolutely. Spread it. We just need to spread it out more. That's what it is. We need to spread it out more.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. I'm going to leave you with one final thought on The Office.
Okay.
Would you bring it back?
No.
No? Leave it where it's at?
No. Leave it where it's at.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence.
I thought about could you do like a 1 hour or 2 hour reunion episode? But I don't know.
I think with streaming you could do like a 6-8 episode mini.
Yeah. I don't know so you probably have this in your notes. They originally were going to do a Schrute Farm spinoff.
Oh yeah, I don't have that in my notes, but I remember that.
But that would have been good. They set the groundwork
piloted it with one of the episodes.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it would have been I would have watched that. I think a lot of people would have watched it, but what could have been?
Yeah. We have what we have, and it's pretty great. So.
Yep.
All right. Moving on to stale popcorn. You got any stale popcorn for me this week?
I don't have any stale popcorn.
No stale popcorn.
No.
It's
Do you have any
you got no stale popcorn? I got stale popcorn. I got lots of stale popcorn. But I'm going to leave you with one. We did Tommy Boy a couple episodes back. I thought this was interesting. Rob Lowe is uncredited in Tommy Boy.
Really?
He is uncredited. True, yes. He wanted his appearance to be a surprise to the audience and not overshadow the movie. So,
interesting.
Bravo, Rob Lowe.
Good job,
Appreciate
Rob.
that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess at the time, Rob Lowe was still a pretty big deal. Not that he's not a big deal, but...
No, but he was pretty big, like a heartthrob back then.
He was a heartthrob in the 80s, that's right.
Yeah.
So, that's my little...
Rightfully so. He's a good-looking man.
Yeah. So. That's my stale popcorn. If you've got none, then let's jump into the gum under the seat. Do we have any gum under the seat for this week?
I did not have any gum under the seat this week.
None this week either. Okay,
No,
that's fine.
no.
That's fine. Just means people gotta get commenting more.
Yeah, get some comments on there. We did have one that I maybe I'll get on here. Maybe we can shed some light on this.
All right.
So I will say this. So this was a comment on when one of our shorts that we did, where I was talking about how I wasn't a big David Spade fan. George Carr, 13W, commented, "Use your brain, Gillian," and then a heart. I'm sorry, George. I'm just comment.
Feels like a reference to Tommy Boy, but I can't place it.
Yeah.
Like maybe there's a character out of place.
Yeah. Let us know because we clearly have short memories.
This is a mystery to me now.
Yeah.
This one's gonna haunt me. I'm gonna wake up in the middle of the night tomorrow night. Gillian. What is that? Gillian. I don't know.
Your wife's like, "What's wrong?" It's this comment. I can't.
Use your brain, Gillian. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Gilligan, maybe?
Gilligan?
Like, yeah.
I thought that. I'm like, but we haven't talked about Gilligan's Island.
We haven't, but like, doesn't David Spade's character refer to him as Gilligan, or he's just Magellan?
He might.
I don't know.
Maybe it's Gilligan. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Listen, you're a bigger fan of Tommy Boy than I am, so I'm throwing this on you.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go with it as a playful quote from the movie.
All right, there we go. All right, my retro ramble.
Yes.
For you next week. We talked about our first jobs.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what's your worst job you've ever had.
Ooh. All right.
Unless it was your first job.
No, I got a couple.
Okay. We'll talk about the worst job. That's going to kind of tie into our next episode. So, anyway, yeah.
Although I got to
appreciate everybody watching.
Isn't going to be any particular job, like a career or whatever. It's going to be a moment within jobs. But
that's fine. That's fine. Just something horrifying about a job. Yeah. There we go.
I think we might have to go like top 3 on this one. Top 3 worst moments.
Wow. Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not taking over your thing.
Okay. Man. Okay.
Worst job. Got it.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. Remember, sharing is caring. Leave us reviews, subscribe, like, share. We appreciate it. Comment. We will comment back to you. We love to hear what your comments are, hear what your thoughts are, hear what you like, hear what you don't like. Give us some suggestions for episodes. We've gotten a few. We're slowly trying to get through some of them. But we will get to them. And until next time, be kind and rewind. Thank you for sticking with us and for listening. And I wish I'd had an Office quote that I could think of, but I don't know. Dunder Mifflin for life.
That's right. See y'all around.
See you.